What is up, everybody? Welcome to the stream. I am Brea Thorn. How's it going? You guys are doing well. I think I have that set a little too strong. Hold on. Bring it up and have it duck. 5 dB. Hey. Black screen for anyone else? I hope not. Let's look at Twitch. No, I can see the feed on Twitch. It looks good. Triple B, I'm not sure what's going on. Can everyone confirm that you can see me? But hi. What's going on, Skeeter Gaming, who is apparently playing a new game. Welcome, Super T30. Triple B is good. Awesome. Glad to hear it with a refresh. And over in YouTube land, Steve, how's it going? Not talking about movies. I mean, we do talk about all kinds of stuff and potentially can talk about movies at some point, but not necessarily the plan tonight. But yeah. And let's see. Cecil Reed saying hit the like button. I can only agree with that. Thank you very much, Cecil. Sailor X, welcome. Alice, welcome as well. And Robert Fixit, welcome as well. Glad to see you. Bears, Beats, and Battle Stars just subscribed to Tier 1. Let's go, nerds. Thanks, Triple B. Much appreciated. I'm watching you. Always watching. Falcon Northwest. How's it going? Also, I do look at my my viewer list sometimes, so I know that's only somewhat true, but it's appreciated nonetheless. Almost 2 years, I know. Yeah, only 4 months away. Thanks for supporting for so long. It is super appreciated. Tough can see me. Awesome. What's up, Lycos45? How you doing? 105 watt eco mode is fantastic on AMD. I've been saying that forever. Yeah, with 750X on 105 watt eco mode is nuts. It's nuts. Bone Shock, welcome. How are you? Hey, I caught it live at the beginning for once. Well, I'm happy to hear that. And I don't know who noticed. I'm back on my favorite Super 55 microphone. Back on a Rode audio interface device, but a new one this time, so that's cool. And yeah, I got the Rodecaster Duo, which is much smaller and also comes in white. So like, how am I not going to get that? Oh, thank golly, that purple one's gone to Sailor. Steve, you know, if you ignore it, maybe it'll go away. Probably not. Kyle Beckman, thank you for the $5 super chat. Hey, I found your channel recently. I love it. Just pulled the trigger on the Starforge Voyager 3 Elite with a 9800X 3D. Sick. Very cool. Funny thing about my code with Starforge, you put in code Breathorn with Starforge and it does not give you a discount. It just helps the channel kind of thing. It just lets them know that I sent you over there. And all of that, but I regret that. The thing is, I want them to have like every code that I have other than the Starforge one gives a discount. Every one of them. In fact, that was the whole point. But they were like, "Hey, we can give you a code, but it's not going to give people a discount." I'm like, "All right." So I don't. The result of that is I don't recommend them as frequently. Because it doesn't matter if I get something out of it, because then I feel weird about it if you're not getting a discount at the same time. I can manually tune to around 140 watt too. Yep, Yep. The settings for that are pretty great. Zelda Shield looks epic. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Falcon Northwest. I am moving things along. Now that Computex is over, I'm going to be building a wall-mounted PC that the Shield mounts in front of. And the Shield is from a company called Mini Katana. They also have a little YouTube channel. You know, it's only like, I don't know, 21 million subscribers or something like that. I might be building one for them too, depending on how it turns out. Talked to a couple companies over at Computex about supporting the project, and I think we are on the right track for that. 7900X, that is. Yeah, I don't know if any 7000 series on Eco Mode is sick. Just ordered a Starforge PC a few weeks ago too. Lycos 45, awesome, very cool. Was that around the time I was unboxing the new pre-built, rebuilt PC from them? Arcutella Ant. I hope I said that correctly. Welcome to the stream. How's it going? But no, Falcon Northwest, how are things with you? Tell me how things are going. I know it's been up and down a lot for everybody, kind of. Busy? Well, that's good. Glad to hear it. We gotta chat soon. I need to reconnect with you. We haven't chatted in like we haven't had a conversation in a while. Mac Mike has returned. I can actually hear the difference. I mean, it's gonna be going from a $50 microphone to like, I don't know what, $300 microphone. It is gonna make it on XLR with a solid interface is gonna make a difference. Is the difference worth it to the average person? No, not really. I'm just, I had spent many years as as an audio nerd, so yeah. Music nerd, audio nerd, so it's like, yeah, I had a reason to have that stuff. What is this? Steel and aluminum tariffs announced this weekend start tomorrow. They go up 50%. So, okay, and remember, talking about tariffs is talking about economics. Global economics at this point. It is not political. But just to get this straight, the broad sweeping tariffs on like everything for everyone have been blocked, and then there was they appealed that, so it's like a temporary appeal, a stay on blocking those. It's gonna resolve in a few days, a week or so, something like that, from what I hear, because those were imposed in a certain fashion, using a certain law or certain loophole. So those are getting blocked, but the steel and aluminum tariffs, which were imposed in a different fashion, which remained, they're turning around and raising those tariffs. Cool. Super cool. All right. Got it. Shield use the Force. What? Oh, can make the Captain America shield out of titanium? Can they make it out of titanium? I doubt it. This shield is made out of the whole part that you see is sort of thin sheet metal, right? And stamped and everything into the shape. But the backing on it and everything is plastic. It's not meant to be something that you can hit. It's meant for either display or cosplay. I can't see them turning around and getting that much titanium and making a shield. That would be a lot of titanium, and thusly a lot of money. What are your thoughts on the AMD RX 9070 GPU? The reviews were good. The The problem with the 9070 and 9070 XT is that we, like everything else, we were promised a certain price, and it's very difficult to get it anywhere near that price. At the base prices, at the MSRP, the $50 difference between the 9070 and 9070 XT was supposed to push everybody to the 9070 XT. But then that was like for the first shipment of cards. Man, I don't know what AMD did there. I don't know what they did there. It's the cards in a vacuum, they both perform well. Vibranium, no extra tariff. True. Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if you want to tariff Wakanda, you got to find them first. They're in place before this liberation, so they stay in place. Right. There you go, Steve. What? Bray, at my warehouse on the receiving side, the whole yard is full of loaded trailers. Not too surprised by that. They're either waiting to be redirected or they're waiting on final word on tariffs before they're claimed, right? Like before they're accepted, basically. But the shipping site is almost empty. I mean, is it because those are moving or because nobody's shipping anything out, like outward? I don't know. So one thing about the using the interface that I'm using here, the Rodecaster Pro Duo, or any Rodecaster, well, the Pro Duo or the standard Rodecaster Pro 2, is that there's a feature on it that is called audio ducking, where anytime I'm speaking into the microphone, it's going to lower the volume on everything else a few decibels, however many decibels I say. So you're going to hear that the music when I'm not talking is going to be louder than normal. But when I talk, it's going to be about the same as it usually is. Let me bring it down just a tad, actually, because of that. Let me know if that's working. It's working here. I need to make sure it's working there. But Lycos 45, which Starforge PC did you order a few weeks ago? I'm about to do, potentially, a very, very cool project with Starforge. I'm talking about, this is potentially, okay, a multi-video project with them, aside from them just being the PC for pre-built, rebuild. And it's something that I have been yelling about for months. So we'll see how that turns out. We got to get, everything's got to get approved first. But I got to say, like I don't, when it comes to companies, I don't pick favorites. I try not to. It's difficult sometimes. I remember telling Kelt over at Falcon Northwest that I was having trouble talking about the system because I grew up a Falcon Northwest fanboy, you know, back in the day. Never got one, always wanted one. So when I got my first one, I was like, you know, there was just a residual thing. But I have to do my best to not pick favorites when it comes to companies. Though I'm sure Falcon Northwest and, you know, maybe Jeff, Skytech might have somewhere in that they might encourage me to change my mind on that. I don't know. But the thing is, I can like people from different companies without that affecting what I'm going to say about them. I get along great with Jeff, but you guys have seen me time after time. If there's ever any issue with the Skytech PC, it doesn't matter if I get to keep it or if it's whatever. I'm going to bring it up. I'm going to say it. So I have people that I've become friends with in the industry, without it affecting my job, which is nice. But every time I get to chat with Nick and some of the team members over at Starforge, man, they're just awesome. They're very good at what they do. So I'm excited to be working with them on this potentially massive multi-video project. Bray, I find a lot of people in chats get surprised when they hear I'm from the UK, knowing a lot about your systems over there. You're not American. Wow. You know, that's the thing about it. Now, if you're talking about systems or you're talking about PCs or like our economy and stuff. Like, what are we talking about? Because everything got muddled up in the beginning of this conversation. Right, guy, what's going on? Ayo, how are you? Positive vibes. Thank you for those. Appreciate that. Those are always welcome. We take those. Out of the Kaiju number 8 PC bundle, Lycos, that is going to be sick. You have to share that in the rigs section on the Discord when you get it, when it's all set up. As long as we're still your favorite and the only PC you'll ever recommend, we won't be jealous. Yeah, I'll let you know how that goes. No pressure though, right? We like you, Steve. You're not a snooty Frenchman. Hey, I will not hear a single negative thing about the French after having played through a good amount of Clair Obscur Expedition 33. Holy crap. Also, I don't know how this should affect it, but I'm half Belgian, like directly, first generation American, half Belgian. So, grew up hearing French, the French language, and also, I mean, they're ambivalent about the French from what I understand in Belgium. I don't know. A lot of food culture is shared between the two countries, so. 4 a.m. Jugger, what's going on? How are you? So, yeah, we're going to be doing PC matchmaking tonight. Anyone who needs help finding the right PC, pre-built PC, or parts list for a DIY build, catered to you, your budget, your needs, all that stuff, listen up, because here's what you got to do. If you are watching on Twitch, keep an eye out for the stream elements, the paragraph there that comes out that says, hey, want help getting the right PC for your budget and needs? Fill out this form. There's a link there. Click the link, fill out the form. Or if you want it to pop up and you want to make that happen, you can type !form. Don't do it, because I'm going to do it now. Really, it's only like, I don't want like 5 people to do that. There you go. That brings up the form. If you're watching on YouTube, it's a little easier. Just go to the description of the stream and click the first link there. And that description, the link in the description will take you to the Google form that you need to fill out to give me an adequate amount of information to make an actual relevant recommendation to you. So, go ahead and do that. If you have already filled out the form, or you're going to be filling it out, here's what you need to do to let me know that you're on the form, that you're on the list. If you're watching on Twitch, I made it easy. As long as you're following the Twitch channel, which is free, there's an emote that says, I'm on the list. Drop that emote in chat, and I will mark you down as being present and accounted for, and you'll be ready to be helped out. If you're watching on YouTube, you have to type, sorry, @Breathorn, I'm on the list. You have to spell my name right. Don't spell my name wrong. I don't care if it's a meme. Don't spell my name wrong, because then it won't highlight my name, which is the whole purpose of doing that. @Breathorn, I'm on the list. That's what you do in YouTube. Once you're done. Egrex, what's going on? I appreciate the help I got from the community. I upgraded from a 2060 to a 5060 Ti 16 gig model. Nice. Very cool. Here's the thing, guys. So like, what happened with 40 series? Although the 4060 Ti admittedly did have its downsides, really was not a step up over the 3060 Ti that much anyway. What happened with that? Well, that's only because the 3060 Ti was goated at its price point. It was such a good GPU. Anyway, there was a bump in performance from the 4060 Ti to the 5060 Ti, a solid one. But it's like impossible for most reviewers to say good things about NVIDIA right now for the last few months, since 50 series dropped. And the whole thing with the 16 gig and the 8 gig, it just should have been a 12 gig card. That's it. Should have just been one version. 12 gigs would have been fine. So people see 5060 Ti, 16 gig, and they're like, blah, But then you look at the charts and you're like, oh, hey, wait, hold up. That's actually pretty solid. And you got it for a good price? Oh, okay, a decent price? Oh, all right, all right. Yeah, we need to get away from this obsession with hating everything that comes out. And you also, now, it's fine. It's fine to comment on the context. Context is important, okay? Context is very important. And it's fine to comment on that. But if that commentary takes over and you, as a reviewer, end up steering people away from a product that is right for them, you have done your job poorly. And you need to maybe revisit it or let people know, like, hey, no, actually, all that stuff sucked. The things I said sucked, it sucked. But the card itself it's fine. It's okay. It does the things it's supposed to do, yada, yada. I know I heard the 8 gig isn't very great, and it's also, like, very hard to find because NVIDIA knows that too. So maybe they didn't make very many. But, yeah. We'll do. I'm waiting on a desk. I ordered it. Should be here Friday. Sick. Awesome. But Egrex, congrats on the upgrade. That is going from a 2060 to a 5060 Ti is massive. That's going to be a huge upgrade for you. And you got your money's worth out of that 2060. Even the 5060 has its use case. It does. You know, just like with 4060 making big gains on the Steam hardware survey, eventually that's going to be the 5060 over time. Once all the stuff cools off from the pedantic reviews and all the sanctimony and all that, the people are just like, well, this is what's there. I'm going to buy it. Oh, hey, it works pretty good. All right, it's good enough for me. Isn't it funny how that works? I don't think it was too bad a price. And I'm getting a trade-in for my old card, too. Wow, still getting value out of that 2060. Very nice. 5060 is great for older machines or low-profile systems with limited case space or power overhead. I want to see what low-profile 4060s are out there. Also, by the way, Falcon Northwest, don't think I didn't see and obsess over what Wendell did with the NVIDIA Pro cards, Pro card in the Tiki. Holy crap! Holy crap! I saw that whole exchange and I was just like, couldn't be me. Could not be me. I don't have the card. I don't have it. I don't have a $10,000 card. I couldn't do it. But man, I'm enjoying watching this. This is great. Wendell is a Doc Brown and PC building. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like everything that Wendell does works. Can't necessarily say the same for Doc Brown. You know, flux capacitor hitting head in the toilet thing, you know? I've been to Belgium a few times when I was young. I stayed in a hotel named after the Ocelot. I met 2 other kids I met years later. We are all from the same city in Scotland. Oh, that's cool. I really just like, from what I understand, if you go to France, if you go to Paris, you go eat at the restaurants. You go eat at the fancy restaurants, Michelin star, all that. If you go to Belgium, you eat at the corner cafes, and it'll be just as good. That's what I've been told by a very Belgian mother, honestly. By my very Belgian mother. Low profile 4060s are actually very cool. Smallest low power SFF. Absolutely. What's up, Blazewind? How's it going? Oh, yeah, absolutely. Very cool. Cool stuff. It did use 1.21 gigawatts. Zintech, what's up? Fowler, welcome. How's it going? Showtime 94, by the way. Hi. I read what you said, but I didn't say hi. So Gigabyte includes a readout on their upper mid-range X870 non-E boards, but they don't give you a clear CMOS. Well, I mean, clearing CMOS is something that you don't necessarily need a button for. If you're advanced enough to know when you need to do a clear CMOS, you don't really need the button. You can do the jumper, or you can remove the battery, let it sit, things like that. There's you know, there are methods. I haven't had to do it that way in so long that I'm just like, yeah, take the battery out, it should be fine. Put it back in, by the way. But there's also a CMOS jumper as well on most motherboards. It's okay, Braythorn. And how's it going, Braythorn? Good, good, good. This is true, indeed. It's kind of like whenever someone is asking, hey, what's the difference between Windows 11 Home and Pro? My comment might sound dismissive, but it's not meant to be. But the thing is, if you're asking that question, you generally will not need the features of Windows Pro. It's one of those things where it's like, if you need those things, you know the difference already, usually. Brandon Goins, what's going on the list? Awesome. Isaiah Rosa on the list as well. I will mark that down. All right, Falcon Northwest, have a good one. Thank you for coming in. Recommend Falcon PCs to everyone for everything. You got it. Oh, you want to do a DIY build? Shut up, you're getting Falcon Northwest. No parts list for you. Falcon Northwest for... Oh, okay, hold on. Hold up. Falcon Northwest just gifted 10 Tier 1 subs to the community. Let's go, nerds. That's a Tier 1 sub for Haha Frank 515, JCuz33, Humanity, Gorax 757. Hold my beers, bro. Is that Bratstall 5, Vibes 321, Egrex, Pandaman 1981, and El Mirador 272. Welcome to the swarm. Thank you very, very much, Kel. Thank you. Later, Tater. I will talk to you later. You can expect a text or something from me soon. We got to catch up. Yeah, Egrex, there you go. I love it when it's not that likely that you're never going to have it to where gifted subs are going to get all people who are in chat, because it goes towards followers of the channel, even if they're not here. But I love it when the people are here and they get to experience that. Wow, YouTube is showing up tonight. Best help available right here. Thank you, Steve. And with that, Bray, Murphy is going to make sure your name gets misspelled. Yay. Yeah, the hate train from reviewers was getting real old for sure. Bray, you ever spot the clock at the start of Back to the Future with Buster Keaton hanging from a clock arm predicting the end of the movie? No, I must have missed that. Was that in the sweeping panning shot through all Doc Brown's stuff? Braxton, what's up? Welcome. I like having the readout now and wanted a white Mobo. Okay, nice. Bone Shock is correct about Falcon Northwest. I won't lie, I want the Fractal Design Torrent case. Zintek, I'm telling you though, anyone who's talking about the Fractal Torrent, Haven BF360. I feel like that's the next one. There's one downside to that case though, to be clear. You have the option for front and top 180 millimeter fans. But if you want to put a 360 millimeter radiator, that's going to change because you have to take those off of the top or the front. However, I would suggest that case, very likely I would suggest it with a big honking air cooler anyway, just like with the Fractal Torrent. Fractal Torrent is a monster when you have a big, NHD 15 or the like in there. Even a Thermalright, Thermalright giant cooler, air cooler in there. Falcon Northwest coming in with a level 3 hype train going solo. That was crazy. Thank you. Thank you again. Plus having the 4th NVMe slot and extra USB ports are nice. Yeah, you never know how long you're going to have that motherboard for. In fact, with socket AM5, the whole point is to have that motherboard for a long time because you'll have upgradability on the CPU for a while. What did you think of the Witcher 4 tech demo? It says NV. What's up, NV? And the nanotech for their environment. For the environment. I did not watch it. I didn't see it. But the idea of nanotech using that, which it already means a thing. There's already a meaning to nanotech. Applying it to graphic stuff is weird. To like generating graphics, it's a weird thing to do. But I want to see it. I haven't seen the tech demo yet. Basically, any of my free time since the Sunday stream has gone to Expedition 33. Any free time I've had that isn't work stuff, Well, that's why it's free time. Yeah. Got a question. Oh, for 1440 gaming, what do you think about this motherboard? Aorus Elite. I feel like I just looked at that one. That one's fine. And of course, I really like the ice aesthetic. Oh yeah, gorgeous motherboard. And if you're just gaming, then it really doesn't matter too much what the I/O is like, as long as you have at least 5 usually, and that has way more than that. So yeah, and also the price, not too shabby for what you're getting. You might actually go for a lower model like that though. You can get the B850 version if they've got one. Get that. Of course, they should have one. Just grab that instead, perhaps. Because you really don't need quite as much on that board, but yeah. One really cool thing about that board, and a lot of Gigabyte boards now, is that they have an onboard internal HDMI coming off the right side of the board for things like sensor panels inside your PC. So you don't have to run a HDMI outside the PC. Let me see. It does make it really cool. I see the notification of I got a random sub, and I'm like, oh man, wasn't there. Yeah, I've gotten that too. What are the downsides of the 3500X from Corsair? If that is that the one, chat, that Steve reviewed, that Gamers Nexus reviewed, where all the panels were really flimsy? I think that's the main downside if I'm thinking of the right case. Whatever you do, do not misspell Braethron. Well, I misspelled on purpose. Thank you, because his evil twin will come out. Kidding. Okay. I always go for AIOs and never really go for air coolers. Zintac, there are benefits to air coolers. There are. There's benefits both ways. Air coolers, the only moving part is the fan. That's it. Your fan dies, you replace the fan. And that's it. More moving parts in an AIO, so yeah. Showtime says that's the board I have. It's a great motherboard. It is a nice motherboard. Does Micro Center have good pre-builts? Power spec? Zintac, generally, when I do a Micro Center thing, I don't look at their regular pre-builts. I like to do a custom system that they build in-house if the budget allows for it. But they do have some solid pre-builts there. I was supposed to be there on Friday, and I couldn't do it. I was supposed to be in the Bay Area Micro Center for the grand opening. Could not do it. I'm gonna cry about that. I'm gonna cry about that. It's gonna happen. Bergie5, what's up? The 3500X is a single chamber fish tank with side intake and removable glass panels on front and side. Braethorn. Sure. I don't know offhand, but it basically, well, you know what? Here, let me stop what I'm doing here. Let me go look. YouTube. Don't worry, for the people who are on the list, we're gonna get started soon. Well, it looks like Kit Guru Tech didn't like it very much. And I always listen to Leo. And I met Leo very briefly at this Computex. He was filming something, so I did not bother him. Maybe it was a 6500X? I don't know which one it was. Let me see. Corsair, Gamers Nexus. The 6500D and 6500X is the one where he bashed them on the quality, not the 3500X. So maybe it's fine. I've never built in it, so you know how I am. If I don't have experience with a thing, I would just send you to other reviews, to reviewers who have built with it and stuff. Humanity, unfortunately, Falcon Northwest left, but hey, congrats on the gifted sub. There's a huge delay between your YouTube and Twitch. There is indeed, yes. That's because the YouTube gets 4K 30 high bit rate, 25,000 on the bit rate, so that because the VODs stay there, people can go back and watch them. The YouTube channel is a tech channel, so that's why. Yep, it was a sweep over the clocks. It was a novel. There you go. There you go. All right. Can't miss it once you see it, like the Wilhelm scream. Alessio M, what's up? You brought my attention to the AM5 splitting PCI X16 lanes. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Would have never known. It's like an epidemic on those boards. What the hell? Now, to be clear, if you're looking at a 50 series GPU that's PCIe Gen 5, you got to remember, like if it's a 5070 Ti, that thing on 8 lanes of PCIe Gen 5 is not going to saturate that, because 8 lanes of PCIe Gen 5 is the same bandwidth as 16 lanes of PCIe Gen 4. So that's probably what they're banking on there too. But the problem is this. A lot of people are going to build those motherboards with 40 series GPUs or AMD GPUs that don't have PCIe Gen 5. So you're only getting 8 lanes of PCIe Gen 4. And for something like a 4090, you can tell me all you want that it doesn't make a difference. I recorded it making a difference when I did my first pre-built review with a system with a 4090, because it had bifurcation happening and it did affect my numbers. But usually bifurcation will only affect you on the most high-end stuff, or if your GPU is one generation back on PCIe. Who makes a better CPU, Ryzen or Intel? Which will last longer? Better is subjective, Cecil. It's subjective. It's based on context. Which one's right for that situation? They're both good. They're both good. As for lasting longer, nobody can tell you. I don't know. It's going to come down to, was it installed properly? Is it being cooled properly? Is it overclocked, or is it running at factory spec? You know. After your use, I recommend Logitech speakers for Skytech PCs. Sailor specifically only for Skytech PCs, though? Or are you just recommending the speakers in general? Because that's fine. So good for a custom system. Okay, yes. Yeah. No, but Zintech, they do have nice pre-builts at Micro Center. It's just some of them, they make some decisions I don't like. And you know how I am about that. Or you might know how I am about that. You don't want to use the updated PSU list? What's up, Alucard? When did I talk about power supplies? I don't think I've talked about power supplies at all during the stream yet. Have graphics card even fully utilized Gen 4? Not fully saturated, no. But I have had a 4090 saturate PCIe Gen 4 X8, a bifurcated slot. I have had that happen to me. My friend was recommending me the 9070 XT, and I might go with an AMD Ryzen 9 9900X and 64 gigs of RAM. Zintech, you got to fill out the form so I know what you're using it for before I can tell you whether that's right for you or not. Hardware Canucks showed a chart where they put a PCIe 5 GPU on PCIe 432. I'd like to see that. Now, that example was an X16 slot, not an X8 slot, though. Well, if you look at it, though, take that PCIe Gen... Or Chaos, take that PCIe Gen 5 GPU, put it in a PCIe Gen 4 X16 slot, running full X16. That's the performance you're going to get from PCIe Gen 5 X8, because it's the same bandwidth. Was misreading about power spec earlier from chat. My bad. No problem. Right guy is on the list. Awesome. I'd rather a custom system than, to be honest, than a pre-built. The problem with the custom systems from Micro Center is their kind of egregious build fee. It's $250, but it is a same day build. If you're near a Micro Center, you can get a custom system faster than any other way. But what's up, Orc Chaos? I don't know if I said hi yet. You can't promise that 4x16 equals 5x8, though. It's theoretical bandwidth. No, that's the way the spec is supposed to work. If it's not working that way, that's kind of a problem. That's the way the spec is designed to work. And, you know, they're pretty confident in that. I'm not promising anything. I'm saying how the spec describes its own performance. And if it doesn't provide that, there's an issue. I guess from case to case, from one case to another, there could be variance, I suppose. But I feel Like I can say things like, you know, what the supposed efficiency of 80 plus gold is supposed to be at 50% load. Like, I should be able to say what the spec is, and it not be a huge problem. Well, to be honest, I'm not buying the computer until October or November. Still making up my... Okay, that's fine. That's fine, Zintech. No problem. I wouldn't fill out the form then. And speaking of forms, yes, let's go ahead and get into those. Generally, if you're not within a month of getting it, it's not the best idea to fill it out now. All right. So let's see here. Oh, wow. We have a lot of people who have entered the form and have not been helped yet. So let's take a look here. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. I don't like how it does that. 1 second. Oh, it's there. So I'm gonna move that off to... Oh, can't do that. It's this one. No. I moved that to the side there, and now... Hey, that didn't work. The hell? Oh, whatever. I'll fix that later. I'm not even going to be using Meld for much longer anyway, so it doesn't really matter. My next big project... Probably going to try to tackle that today or tomorrow, is going to be setting up OBS from scratch on this PC. To be like my old setup, which is that took months to make. So over time, little things here and there. YouTube video hardware Canucks, CPU bottlenecks, PCIe scaling, benchmarks, and more. I'll have to watch that because I don't have the stuff. I don't have the capabilities of testing things the way they do. So. Yeah, maybe I'll learn something. I'm always open to that. Well, to be honest, I'm not buying that. Okay, got that. Speakers. Got it. Speakers in general. I used Logitech speakers for a long time. I now like to get like, what are they? Bookshelf speakers? What are they called? There's some really, really nice ones out there. TFGFN. What's going on? Welcome. Force Gaming Network. Welcome. All right. So we had Brandon and Isaiah say they're on the list. I hope Wizard Tegan comes back. They came by to hang out for the Sunday gaming stream. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing PC Matchmaking today, but they waited last time so they could come back on Tuesday. So here's how it works, guys. Wait a minute, did I not do this? Did I not finish this? I guess I didn't finish this one. I thought I did. Oops. Okay, so Brandon, Isaiah, and Rye Guy. I hope I'm saying that correctly. Rye Guy, or is it Rie Guy? Okay. Anyone who's waiting for help, please let me know. I won't automatically know just because you're in my chat that you are waiting for help. G-Code, what's up? How's it going? Like the drink? Like the bread? Rye? Okay. I feel like I need stuff up here. I need to have something up here. I don't know. But I'm not gonna mess with this setup much more at all. Need to make sure I'm not clipping my audio here. Check, check, check. Microphone check. Okay. Forgot that I turned that up earlier. Okay. G-Code, hope you're having a good day too. Thanks for stopping by. Okay, so the first person I'm going to be helping out is going to be Brandon. Brandon. Looks like we're doing a Micro Center parts list. Fun. These are fun. But we got to see if the Dallas Micro Center has any GPUs. You're doing, let's see, gaming and streaming. Fun, fun. Love it. Matthew and A, what's going on? I just bent the pin that connects my RGB to the motherboard. No. Okay, well, first off, first thing to do is you can try bending it back very carefully, okay? You might need to remove the motherboard from the case to do this properly, whether you're going to use that connector or not. And the reason for that is if it's touching another pin on that same, if it's touching, it could ground itself or something. You don't want it to short out, okay? Secondly, if you bend it back, it's probably going to work just fine. So, makes a good case for BTF and Project Zero, though, where the connectors are on the back, because then you have it just like right in front of you, just boop, 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 boop. I really, really want to do a Project Zero or BTF build. Scarecrow, what's up? Evening, Bray. Hope all's well, brother. Yeah, doing pretty good. Just came this week, last week, came back from Computex in Taiwan. It was a lot. It was a great time, man. I just want to like take everybody with me. I just can't do that. Imagine the Airbnb for that. Yeah. But man, if you guys ever end up traveling the world, you got to make Taipei one of your destinations. It's such a great city. This should not be any crossbody bags in GPU boxes at that price. Yeah. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't know if you guys heard about it, but at the new Micro Center, I mean, they just got their stock in the Bay Area, and basically the San Francisco Micro Center. I forget what it's actually called, the city where it's called, but it's right there. There were 30 5090s that had just crossbody bags. Basically, the new version of the fanny pack is a crossbody bag. I love those things. I have one, and I use it all the time at Computex. It was great. But there were 3 of those in a box for 5090, meaning it had around the same weight, and basically it was from that distributor. So they're just like, okay, cool. Oh, it wasn't you? All right, interesting. But they took care of everybody who realized the problem and came in with that problem. Santa Clara, there you go. If I were to go to Taipei, I would end up in that tech mall and never come back. The tech mall is great, and right next to it is Syntrend, which is a newer tech mall that has like more actual stores. It's not as cool, in my opinion, but it is cool. You can find a lot of cool stuff there. 32 5090s were replaced. Apparently, it was from the supplier. Yep. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Imagine I tried bending it back. One of the parts to the pin came out. Okay, as long as they're not touching, you should have more ARGB headers on your motherboard. So we'll just, can I get 07s in chat for Matthew's ARGB header? TP Love, yo, I got that PC built. Nice. How'd it come out? Did you throw that in the rigs channel on the Discord? I don't usually show it in chat. I don't usually show Discord in chat. But eventually, at some point, I am going to do a video going through everybody's builds in the community. Maybe we'll have a thing where people can vote for their favorite setups among the community. I think that'd be fun. Or maybe I need to make a separate channel for setups specifically, not the PCs themselves, or I'll just change the rigs channel to the setup channel or whatever. Also, some Fs would help as well. Throw some Fs in there. I like the salute. And that, kind of an emoticon, sort of. Not really. Good, we got Leanly A3 Wood, Zotac 5060. Our Ryzen 7 7600X, 2240 millimeter AIO, and 2 terabyte SSD. We raised the budget to 1200. You see, when you raise the budget at that budget range, it can make a huge difference. Brandon is here. Awesome. Brandon, question for you. Tech Source does setup wars. Oh yeah, I know Ed. I met Ed at CES before, and nice guy, really nice guy. He knew who I was because we had communicated via email before. So really cool dude. Really cool dude. We're not. It's not like I'm like buddy with him, but I would be. I'd be open to that. He's a awesome guy. Makes really cool content. The thing that he used to be sponsored by. What is it? Freaking! They're so out of my mind now. In my past, but it was the hell is that company that shut down? Can't remember now. Whatever. Someone remind me, please. Save me from my terrible memory. Light gaming PCs. Them. Yeah, he used to be sponsored by them. Which, like, he's not a pre-built reviewer. So, like, sure, yeah, not a conflict of interest. But it was around the time that they shut down. I was reaching out to him, letting him know sort of what was going on with them and how bad they were, and he was receptive to that. He was like, "What, really?" And then they shut down. Okay, so Brandon, here's the information I need. You listed a budget of $1,500 to $2,000. I can't work with the range. That's for my charts and stuff. What I need is your actual maximum amount of money dollars that you can spend on your PC, without taxes and not including monitor, keyboard, mouse, that kind of stuff. Just the PC itself, on the PC build, on the parts list, essentially. And it should be within that $1,500 to $2,000 range, because it does say maximum budget when you're filling that out, but we will see. Light Gaming was a sponsor. Yes, they sponsored TechSource. Yes. Now, the best thing about that was they would send him stuff, and he would, like, openly criticize it. I was, like, just mentally and emotionally high-fiving him from a distance for that. But I eventually just thought to myself, like, I should just reach out. There's a business email. I should just reach out, share some of the stories I've gotten, share some of the emails I've seen, all that kind of stuff. 1850. Got it. What are you doing? All right, let's head over to the Dallas Micro Center. Let's look at the rest of this, though, real quick. Parts list, you're getting within 2 weeks. Gaming and streaming. So with the gaming and streaming thing, we want to make sure you have enough I/O on your motherboard, enough RAM for it, all that good stuff. Not too much RGB, as you said here. Price for performance is the priority. That's good that you're going to Micro Center. It's pretty easy to achieve that. We can now, the downside to streaming in this context is that I like to be really picky about the motherboard. And if you get a bundle, which the bundles are a huge value proposition over there, you're not necessarily going to be able to have whatever, all the I/O that you might want. But there's an answer for that. We'll talk about it. You do want to be able to upgrade your CPU. You want the PC to be black, and we are looking at 1440p. All achievable with this budget. So let's go check it out. At least if they have GPUs. We're going to see that first. Let's just check video cards real quick. Oh my God. Oh my God. This 5090 is almost $4,000. It's sold out. And it's sold out. It's sold out at $3,700. Oh God, that hurts my heart. Anyways, they have a lot of 5090s. Holy crap. And of course, this PNY 4090 is getting around. They brought it down from 3,000 down to 2,500. Good job, Micro Center. Who the hell is going to get a 4090 for $2,500 when, well, I guess it's still $400 more for that. Oh, whatever. Anyway, so we're moving on. We're not looking at that range of price. Let's see what we've got in something closer to what will fit into an 1850 budget. 5070 Ti. Okay. I like that. What other 5070 Ti models are here? There's also the 9070 XT. Okay, so this is bad because I was like excited because I saw the 5070 Ti Prime, that's the one I'm using right now, at only about $80 above original MSRP, and it is 0 in stock. So that sucks. Oh yeah, there's actually this one though, $824.99, even cheaper. The Gigabyte 5070 Ti WindForce. It says SFF, so this is actually gonna be a smaller 5070 Ti, and it is $824.99. They have 5 in stock. We should be able to fit that in the budget. Maybe. If not, there are other options. So there's plenty of GPUs at this location. I kind of like the 9070 as another option as well, because it still has 16 gigs of VRAM. And they seem to be getting lower and lower in price as I go. Let's see what other ones there are if we keep looking. It's all 5070s. To be clear, by the way, the 5070 at 1440p, totally fine. Was not able to slow it down. The other thing considers that they're open box components, as they do have their 15-day return policy for them with the option to add a longer warranty if needed. That's true. All GPUs in stock now in EU, but price is still ridiculous. Yep. Indeed, Fowler. V for V, welcome. What's up? Awesome to see they actually have GPUs. It is. It is. It makes my my YouTube short about going to the tech mall in Taiwan to see if GPUs were available. It makes it obsolete, which is great. Love that. But I would rather have this situation than that, than not have GPUs available. So I would say we'll try for that 5070 Ti. We'll try for that. Meaning I got to build up the whole rest of the system. Gaming is not the only priority here. We got to set this thing up for a good streaming experience. So we might need to change on the GPU, but we'll find out. Let's look at bundles. So here's the thing. Check this out. If you find that that you really we have to go with a bundle in order to get you the system spec'd out to where it needs to be, and you need more I/O because you got to have your 2 stream decks and your webcam and your external audio, your audio interface or a USB mic or in your headset and all that kind of stuff that streaming can require. It's not a problem because you can always add in a USB card. And it's funny because I've been getting a few different ones of these. Some of them require a PCIe X1. Some require X4. The ones that require X4 are going to have like actual USB 3.2 Gen 2 kind of stuff, faster speeds, 10 gigabit per second speeds. This is all PCI. This is all USB 3.0, 5 gigabit per second. But you get like 3 USB-Cs, 4 USB-As, that kind of stuff. These are like $25 on Amazon, and they're plug and play. And this one only needs PCIe X1. So it really depends on the motherboard we settle on and what ports are, what slots are available. That determines what you can put in there. So we can look for a bundle. We're going to try for a bundle here. And since you're building this thing, when it's someone who's doing a DIY build, I'm much more I'm more comfortable recommending this. I feel strongly that if someone wants a pre-built, does not want to mess with PC DIY, they shouldn't have to. They should be able to spec out a complete product right out of the box. But sometimes when you're trying to, when we want to max out certain things and we're trying to do things on a budget, you make certain concessions and agree to sort of upgrade them later. My 4090 should arrive within the next 3 days. Nice, Scarecrow. Very cool. If Taiwan didn't have them, there would be a major problem. That's very true. Seems like no one is buying overpriced 5080, 5090 anymore, and overflow stock, even 5090 sales discounts. Fowler, that's the thing. That's what freaked me out about seeing a $3,700 5090 being sold out. I found that to be like alarming. Like, why are we letting them get away with this? Vote with your wallet. Just don't. And most people do not need a 5090. Most people do not need anything close to a 5090. Some of those people could have saved like $2,500 on their GPU. That's a whole computer's worth of money. Happy to be viewing your live stream. Hope everyone is well. Thank you. V for V, happy to have you here. And when you guys come in and you're like, oh, I'm late. You're not late. You're here. You're here. That's all that matters to me. Whenever you can show up. You don't need to be like, oh, man, I missed out. No, we're just talking about computers. It's fine. Okay, let's look at the bundles. Now, because you're looking at 1440p, we can save money on the CPU. You do not need anything with 3D V-Cache. Once you get past 1080p on the resolution, X3D chips don't do a whole lot for you. Now, to be clear, though, I still like the 9800 X3D if it's within budget. That's what I'm gaming and streaming on right. Well, I'm not gaming right now, but I did on Sunday. Sunday I was playing Expedition 33 while streaming with a pretty complex stream with effects and stuff and all that. A bunch of windows, all that kind of stuff going on. 9800 X3D didn't break a sweat. I hate how most popular is just the worst thing to go with there. Okay, here we go. $9,700X, 32 gigs DDR5, 6000. So here's the thing about the RAM, what I was thinking about, which was there are some games that are getting a little bit ridiculous in how and this has been going on for a little while, in how much system RAM they start to, I don't know, start to use more usage of system memory, not just, VRAM on the GPU, stuff like that. It just becomes more like Escape from Tarkov is a classic example of that. To the point where if you're gaming with 16 gigs of RAM with Escape from Tarkov, you don't have enough RAM. So 32 gigs, streaming, running everything else, your browser windows, your popped out chats, all that kind of stuff in the background can be just too much to do all on 32 gigs of RAM. But that's what is part of these bundles, is 32 gigs. Let's see. But I like the 9700X for this. 1440p, the 9700X is going to be pretty. It's going to be pretty comparable to the 9800X3D in terms of gaming frames per second. The 9800X3D is amazing at 1080p. It's unbeatable. At 1440p or higher resolution, it's not as necessary at all. They had the 5090 at my Best Buy for 2,900 Canadian the other day in stock too. Well, that's something. Depends on which one it is. No need smaller size capture cards to fit a height case. Might need one of those for later. Generally, Alucard, it's going to be the Elgato. It was a 4K Pro, 4K 60, the Elgato 4K 60. Now they have the new HDMI 2.1 version, but it is slimmer and it comes with a low profile bracket. But that's not going to be like a multi-camera capture card if you're doing multiple cameras with HDMI. That's going to be a single device capture with pass-through. That's what that's for. So like if you're testing a PC, that's what you would use that for. John Paul Bacon, welcome. What's up? That's only dropping the bucket compared to the upcoming 60 series at 10K. Oh, sure. They already have a 10K GPU, but it's a professional one. It's because don't optimize their games, says Base Player, and I completely agree. Hey, Fowler, thank you for lurking. I appreciate it. I don't deal with much, but Elgato PCIe cards might come with another mounting plate. Yes. So the 4K one, not the Elgato Cam Link Pro. That is a full size capture card because it's 4 HDMI ports, 4 HDMI 4K 30 inputs. No, you need the regular 4K 60 capture card. Well, I guess it's not 4K 60 if you're getting the HDMI 2.1 version, but RTX 6000 Pro. If people aren't buying that for gaming, they're really not just throwing their money around like they want to burn it. Or Chaos, that $3,700 5090 begs to differ. That is a waste of money too. 2,900 CAD is MSRP for reference. Oh, okay. So that's $2,000. Oh, that's sick. Right guy, which 5090 was that? Like from what AIB? Like was it Gigabyte, PNY? What were you looking at there? Let's keep looking at this. I'm sorry, I got distracted. Okay, let's take a look at this motherboard. What's the difference between these two? No. Most popular. Shut up. Okay, 7700X versus 9700X. It is a $30 difference. I would go 9700X. Better temperatures, better efficiency, all that good stuff. Thanks for letting me know that. No problem. If you were asking Roby about this, last I talked to him about it, he was all about external capture cards anyway. That's just his preference. Okay, so this isn't great. For this motherboard, you would need to add in probably one of those PCIe USB cards. Now, one thing I want to mention for anyone who does get one of those, I just realized I was zoomed in. For anyone who does get one of those PCIe add-in cards for USB, don't plug your keyboard and mouse into that. When you put your PC to sleep, those shut down. They're turned off, basically. You cannot wake your PC with your keyboard or mouse if they're plugged into the add-in card. It needs to be directly into the motherboard. And if you look at a motherboard like this, the different colors of plastic in the USB ports denotes the speed that you're getting from them. Your mouse and keyboard should go into the black ones here, which are USB 2.0. They don't need a lot of bandwidth. You're fine. Then you save these for things like external capture card, webcams, things like that. And then you can get the add-in card for any other devices like Stream Decks, things like that, that really don't need a lot of bandwidth. But yeah. Oh, NVIDIA launched. Oh, it was a FE card. That's sick. I think the very cheapest 5090 I saw so far was 2564 PNY GPU here in Norway. Okay. Well, the thing is, one of the cards you're supposed to be guaranteed to be able to get for MSRP is supposed to be the Founders Edition. It's just they're like unicorns. What should I plug into my red USB-C port on my motherboard? And the red USB ports. Well, those are all you need to know is that is USB 3.2 Gen 2. That's 10 gigabit per second. So there's certain devices that want something like that. Like an external capture card that is HDMI 2.1 is usually going to require a minimum of 10 gigabit per second. So if you get yourself a more modern external capture card for capturing your PS5 or something like that, or like for me, where I'm using it to capture another PC I'm testing, you'll want to plug it into that port. Okay, I have the MSI X670E Gaming Plus, by the way. Yeah. Well, that's what you want to plug into there. Something that actually requires it. Alessio M, thank you for clearing that up on the Canadian conversion of money. Emirador, what's up? Yeah, you got to get to the sub. Falcon Northwest is not here now, but yeah. I knew the name when I saw it. How's it going? I think this will do. I think this will do just fine. My only actual concern really is the 32 gigs of RAM, but that should be fine. If you find that it's not enough for streaming, the only issue with this is that I don't want you to get a matching kit and just add that in to have 4 total sticks. When it comes to DDR5, particularly on AMD, I guess I can say that, the best practice currently is still to just put 2 sticks. You just need to get the right capacity. So If you're like, oh man, I want to get more RAM, you can't get another 32 gig kit to make 64 and expect the same speeds. It'll work, but at JEDEC speeds, meaning like the stock speeds, not that DDR5 6000 that is advertised on the RAM. You're not. Stability can be an issue at that point, even though memory controllers are getting better. If most people you ask, will tell you the best practice is to go with the right kit. So it would be 2 sticks of 32 rather than 2 of 16, which is what comes with this bundle. I think, though, for now, this will do just fine. It is something that's fairly easy to upgrade. The only downside is it's not an additive upgrade, like with storage, where you keep your original storage and just add more. You would be taking this kit out to put in a new kit. But you can keep this kit and basically keep it around for troubleshooting, sell it used, whatever. Most people don't buy used RAM, from what I see, but you could hold on to it, or I don't know. It's to get the bundle, basically. We'll try building it with this. We can make changes later if we want to. I just don't want to forego a bundle, because that's what's allowing us potentially to put a 5070 Ti in there. Now we basically have about $500 to build the rest of the PC, $550 to build the rest of the PC. That's not a lot. So bundle is necessary here. Downclocking to 5600 or 5200 might work out okay when attempting 4 sticks. Have memtest 86 handy. Or Chaos, my usual thing, because most people will tell me that they're new to this stuff, is just to try to get it to where they can just do the one-click XMP or Expo overclocking. Getting into custom frequencies and timings is not something I can normally expect from my audience. It's a bit of an unfair expectation for me to pass on to them. What's the difference between CL36 to CL30? That's going to be the latency. Now, this is a lower cost RAM. That CL36 is going to be slightly higher latency, but it's one of the things you're getting this kit of 32 gigs DDR5 for $83. It's not the kind of thing where if you took out the DDR5 6000 CL36 and put in CL30 RAM of the same frequency, that you'd see this crazy difference. It's not a massive difference. It's not going to be like a life-changing difference in there. Let's see. So we'll try to do a 2 terabyte. It's usually my minimum whenever I'm doing something at Micro Center, because you get this Inland Performance Plus 2 terabyte for $132. It's usually anywhere from $125 to $135. So we're kind of in between that here. There's only 1 2 terabyte left over there. Damn. If they don't have the 2 terabyte when you go get it, you can get the 1 and just add more later. In fact, we might end up having to put the 1 terabyte drive in there for now, just to get the cost down to get within budget here. Now is the completely subjective part. Okay, Brandon, I'll probably make some suggestions here to try to get you to where you're getting a case that comes with the fans. But what I'm wondering is, do you care whether it's front mesh, or do you want side and front glass? Do you want like sort of the fish tank look? I'm sort of leaning towards the Montec XR. It's going to be a great value here. It comes with the side intake, reverse flow fans, and the rear exhaust fan. You have a really nice sort of fish tank look without it being excessive RGB or any of that, because you said you don't want too much. That's what I would go with there. And it's $69.99, nice, with fans included. There are a lot of cases here that'll look like a better deal, but they don't come with fans, so you end up having to buy those. So whatever savings you have there are out the window. Sorry, I'm zoomed in. My bad. I do that a lot. This is a Montec XR. Looks nice. Thanks, Triple B. Appreciate it. John Paul says, my ProArt X670E has 7 USB Type A, 3x2.2x2, 1 Type C, 3.2x2, and 2 USB 4. Yeah, that's, John, that's kind of been my problem with the ProArt boards. Most of the time when someone's going to be in content creation, a lot of them are going to dabble, either even just dabble in streaming at the very least. So I just feel like they should have more USB ports, just more. And that's always going to be whenever I'm out here vouching, like doing this for you guys. When I talk to MSI, Asus, Gigabyte, ASRock, it's always about more USB. Gigabyte's usually been good about that, but they took a big step back with the latest generation. At least on the X870 and X870E side of things. Not a big step back, but it's not great. Okay, so you're good with this? Awesome. We'll select that. Cecil Reed, dumb question. Is there any real difference between external and internal hard drives for storage? Yeah, generally, depending on the connection that you have between the drive and the... Because hard drives are going to be slow, regardless. You want to mitigate that as much as possible. So having SATA is nice. The problem with hard drives that are integrated into your operating system as a drive on the OS all the time is that sometimes when you're just trying to look something up, even in a fast drive, Windows wants to index all the drives real quick. It's just a quick thing, background thing. But because there's a hard drive there, you're going to have a white screen in that Explorer window for like a little while it's depending on the size of the drive. Like I have an 18 terabyte drive. Is it 18 terabyte drive in my editing PC? And that thing, when it indexes it, I'm there for like 15, 20 seconds, just like any day now, please. Yeah. So having it be internal can be a downside in that sense. The main thing is you generally don't need hard drives unless you know you need hard drives for high volume storage that is very slow. Mostly, as long as you have M.2 sockets available, get M.2 drives if you can, because the price on them just keeps slowly going down. Or it's staying. It stays where it is or goes down, depending. But yeah. So we're at 1457 out of 1850. We're doing good. Oh, I need to check something real quick. I have it here. Okay, so you have two X16 sized slots. That doesn't mean that that's the actual communication with them. Let's check this real quick. Expansion slots. X16, PCIe, X16. Oh, hold on a second. It's 4.0. That's right. Maybe I should look for one with a more modern thing. Now, these are both X1. That's kind of not great for a streaming PC. You want one of them at least to be X4, even if it's PCIe Gen 3, because a really high-end capture card, most of them are still using PCIe Gen 2, but it requires 4 lanes on some of those. So yeah, if you're running a storage server or NAS, then add hard drives. Otherwise, don't. There you go. Okay, let's finish this PC, and then we're gonna see about that bundle again to maybe find a better motherboard. PSU 5070 Ti. I would say at least 850 watts. I haven't checked this lately. Let me see how the MSI power supplies are doing. Shout out Zach's Tech Turf for having this nicely collected information here. And then this one is the MSI MAG A number GL. Okay. GL. PCIe 5, B plus for 1000 to 1250 watt, or B for this budget. B is acceptable, I would say. B is fine. Solid electrical, let's see what this says here. Solid electrical performance let down by poorly tuned protections, mediocre transient response, and low quality fan. Huh. Damn, MSI. That's unfortunate. These things used to be more highly rated than that. They used to be A tier, essentially, before. But, oh well. What else we got? What about the MPG? This is A rated right here. There you go. So it's an older one. It is PCIe 5, but it's not 12V 2x6. It's 12V PWR. Let's see. I don't think that would cause issues necessarily, but we'll avoid it if we can. Maybe the LED X3. Let me remind myself of the specs on that. Okay, Superflower, LED X3. Oh boy, see, this is where, stop it. This is where you got to be careful. Stop it. So you look at the LED X3, and it's all A minus, A minus, A minus, B, A. It's like really good. And then there's the E right here for the 1300 watt. Holy crap. Sample unit died while testing 5 VSB OCP, so no, overcurrent protection. Did not work. Avoid until further testing. And Superflowers claimed they would adjust it. Okay. All right. Well, we're not looking at that. We're looking at Gold Up ATX. I hate those freaking pop-up things. Let's see what LED X3 we're looking at here. Superflower is super solid. They build power supplies for a lot of name brands. This is a little more than I was looking to put into the power supply, though, but could be worth. LED X3, that's all we're getting. 1000 watt. Why is there no... oh, there it is. Okay, so the... so that is an A-rated power supply from 2024, PCIe Gen 3.1... not PCIe, ATX 3.1. So that'll do the job. We can come back and change this if we need to. This game is called... what game? What are you talking about? Oh, okay. Skeeter came back from playing a game to tell us what game it is, and then went back on lurk. Thank you for the lurk. I appreciate it. And enjoy your basically Tarkov but free game. That's true, John. The thing is, I would look at something like an MSI Carbon board from the latest generation, and those are all really fast ports as well, all 10 gigabit or higher. So, I mean, Asus could have done a little better with it, I think. Gorgeous motherboard, and if it has everything you need, there's zero problems. I just feel like, as always, Asus cheaps out a little bit on how much I/O they give you. It's unfortunate. It doesn't make it a bad motherboard, if it's right for you, especially. Now, I guess we'll go with an AIO. 360. We're going Montech. So let's see if they have the Montech 360. They have a Montech 360, and it is not RGB. Interesting. There's only one in stock. I don't think I want to go for that then. Hyperflow Silent 360 millimeter. Interesting. Okay. No, so we won't go Montech. I really want to see someone review this. Yeah, maybe I'll order one because they're really inexpensive. This King Cool Aqua Freeze AIO. I want to see someone review that. I want to see a trusted source review that. But $85 for a 360 millimeter AIO with RGB, this is really nice. It just needs to be good enough. It needs to be good. It needs to be all right, especially if you're over-speccing, because the 9700X doesn't really need 360 millimeter AIO, but it's got it now. So, bad experience with Asus motherboards. I'd rather go with MSI or Gigabyte motherboards. Zyntec, the funny thing is, I've heard people in chat say the very same thing about MSI or Gigabyte. They are parts that run copious amounts of electricity through them. They have hundreds or thousands of little devices and solders and everything all over them. Any motherboard from any brand can have a problem. The thing about it is, knowing that Asus had issues with support kind of sucks. And that's more what I would look at. You don't look like if a part has a problem, that company hasn't failed. It's whether or not they support that part well or support their customers well. That's when a company has failed or not. You know, that's how you know if it's a good company or not. My Arctic non-RGB AIO costed $85 and it's very good. Dodger Dog, did you get that early on when those first launched? Is it the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3? Because they had introductory pricing on those. And they probably run specials now and then. I checked the power supply list and glad to see my PSU got a A-. I'll take it. Oh, Seasonic is always a good bet, Matthew. Always a good bet. So we're at $17.12 and 94 cents. So we're under budget, but I have to change the bundle on the motherboard. So we got to do that. Let's go do that. It's not a motherboard I would recommend for a streaming system. That one would be better, but it is a white motherboard. Let me know if you don't care about that. Just say, what's up? Hey, you did mind Mr. Move Right? Huh? What did I mind? Yeah, I got it early last. I checked. It was still $85 on Amazon. This was almost 2 weeks ago. Those launched a while ago. Okay, I'll be fine with it. Okay, cool. Let's take a good look at the motherboard then. God, Micro Center opens. I mean, I know I purposely opened another tab, but like, it does open a lot of tabs. So this bumps you up to PCIe Gen 5, which the 5070 Ti has. But what about expand? Okay, let me just go to, forget this. Even though they do have a lot of decent information, it's not as good as just going to the manufacturer's website and looking at the specifications page. Let's go there. To PCIe Express. Why are they doing this? Why are they all X1? X16 slots all running at X1 is stupid. Just make them make them shorter slots. Put more SMDs on there. Elsewhere. Put another M.2 drive or something. Let's see. Okay, let's go back and keep looking. There is the... We're going higher in price than I really want to. Okay, real quick. How much does this actually save? You're saving $90 off the motherboard. And 50, so basically about 150 bucks. Well, let's have a look at this. No, hold on. Maybe? It's a 7800X 3D, but it's just like the 9700X. It's 8 cores, 16 threads. Should be able to handle streaming, no problemo. You are losing the... Maybe, actually. Let me see this. I don't know. Yeah. Thank you for the PowerPoint. Just take me to the tech specs. Thank you. There we go. I went right past it. Yeah, it's PCIe 4.0. That's not necessarily going to affect you with a 5070 Ti. It's not going to saturate that. Let's see. So then you have one PCIe 4.0 X16 that does X1 and X1. I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Okay. Oh, did I put lowest? Okay. I sorted by lowest price, and it put the 579 one earlier than the 549 one. That's just blatantly wrong. Let's take a look here. We're looking at X670E now. This is getting a little overboard, but we should get some decent options out of this. Decent IO out of this. Decent, I say. Not good, just decent. Okay, PCIe 5.0 on the main slot there. X4 and X2. Sick. There you go. Finally! PCIe 4, E4, yeah, PCIe 4 and M.2 share the bandwidth. M.2 will run at 2x speed, X2 speed when installing device instead of X4 speed in the PCIe E4 slots. So, essentially, with this, you're getting, where's, I went right by storage. You have 4 M.2 sockets on this. Only use 3 of them if you're going to have something like something in the fourth slot, in the bottom slot here, okay? But capture card would go here because that's X4. Let me get you a better picture to show. All right. Your capture card would go here. This is X4. And then your USB add-in card would go here. You can only do an X1, not an X4. I know that's a little weird, but it's just... you can tell by the size of the thing that goes into the slot there. You can only do an X1 because this does X2 basically, 2 lanes. So you need the PCIe X1. Who makes devices that are PCIe X2? Who does that? You just don't see that. Now you're going to need a card like that because if you look at this, these are all fast ports, but there's not a ton of them. Let's see if this fits within the budget anyway. Also, you're getting a 9900X, not a 9700X. You're getting a 9900X. 12 cores, 24 threads. Once you start up the game, though, 4 of those cores are going to park. They're going to shut down. Is it 4 or 6? Did they do 6 and 6 again? That'd make me very upset. I didn't actually look at that. Well, I'd like to upgrade to 64 gigs RAM for $125 more, and it's faster. Which one? I don't see anything with 64 gigs here of RAM. 32 gigs. 32 gigs. 32 gigs. 32. I don't know why they're so stuck on 32 gigs, but whatever. Okay, just Zay. I do have to question you why it is that you went with a name that doesn't match your name. I'll need you to either resubmit the form, or if that's your name on Twitch, go hang out on Twitch, because then I can actually verify that that's your form that you filled out. Alucard, I believe it's the same as a 9950X. How it's not X3D, but it still has core parking. I think the 9900X does that too. If it doesn't, I'll be very happy. I would love to know. Let me see. I'll just look it up. Car parking exists in the 9900X. They did it again. They did it again. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Everybody, bring it in. Bring it in, chat. The 9900X is annoying. Just as annoying as the 7900X 3D was. Why? It doesn't have 3D V-Cache. Okay, so it's not as good at gaming as a 9900X 3D was. 7900X 3D. The 9900X non-3D still has core parking. Why does it have that? Because there's 2 CCDs. One of them is higher performance than the other. So they shut down the lower performance one and just let the one CCD run. Now, you would think that the wise move would be to have the higher performance one be 8 cores active and the lower performance one be 4 active cores. No, no, no. That would just be way too smart for AMD. Nope, nope, nope. It's 6 cores each. So effectively, once you start a game, you have a 9600X. Have fun. I don't think I can recommend that for a streaming system. If you're going to be gaming and streaming, I know I'm on the first build, okay? I know this is taking for freaking ever. I'm trying to get everything I can into this. But the 9900X is a very aggravating CPU, now that I know that. Oh, I missed this one. Okay, this is fine right here. Hold on. Let me just check the motherboard real quick. Oh, no, it's going to be the same thing. So essentially, with the 9900X, when you start a game, 6 of your 12 cores shut off. And you have a 6-core, 12-thread processor at that point. Good job, AMD. Now, I don't know better than an engineer at AMD. I'm sure they had their reasons, but it doesn't make the product better in the long run. It doesn't make it any less dumb that it does that. It's dumb. It's stupid, and I don't like it. All right, we're going to see what we can do without a bundle, because all these bundles kind of suck. We're going to keep the 9700X. We're going to change our motherboard to one that doesn't have a stupid PCIe layout. This motherboard, though, is only costing $150, so this price is going to go up. Yeah. But we have about like $80 to play with. So that means we can go up to about $230, $240 on the motherboard. I promise I'm almost done. I promise. I just want to reassure you guys that, like, when your turn comes up, I'm going to give your build the same kind of attention. Hey, yo. All right. Hey, there it is. My favorite motherboard from this generation, the MSI X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi. They have one left, and it is $249. There's just enough room left in the budget for this. The only downside is I don't know if this is going to work because it's going to raise the price of the CPU. Yeah, we're over budget now. Because it raised the price of the CPU, the RAM, everything. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's try it again. Although, let me show you why I like this motherboard real quick. Okay? This thing, for the price, is insane. Look at the I/O on this. Okay? That's what I'm talking about when I say this is good for a streaming system. This is what I'm using for my streaming system. You put your peripherals here, keyboard, mouse, anything that doesn't require, a stream deck, 2 stream decks, whatever. They only require USB 2.0. Then you put things that require faster things like, say, an Elgato Facecam, or something like the Rodecaster Duo, or some kind of audio interface, USB 2.0, USB 3.0, and then external capture cards and stuff can go here. But that's not it. Also, the expansion slots are done intelligently. I am currently using 2 capture cards on this motherboard, and it is $250. It's freaking awesome. Mini rant checked on the bingo card. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Just Zay. So yeah, as I was saying, if that name is your name on Twitch, please go over to the Twitch chat so I can verify that that's you, or resubmit the form if you don't mind. So there's only one of these left, and it also kicked up the price of the system. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to go in here. We're going to see the price difference for the 7700X. Performance is similar. It just runs a little hotter. That's okay. You have plenty of cooling. And I don't think the price is that different. It's like $20, $30 difference. Well, it's what's necessary. We're going to lower the amount of storage you get right off the bat from 2 terabytes down to 1. And that should get us under budget. You could add more storage later. This thing has 4 M.2 slots on it, but I'm going to check real quick. I'm going to double check this because I looked a lot at this motherboard, but it's been a little while since I've done that. I'm going to check the PCIe layout real quick. No. Specifications. Here we go. Okay, so the slots, here you go. This is what's great about this, okay? You have 4 PCIe slots, and you get PCIe 3.0 X1, X1, and then X4. There you go. Okay, and then you have on storage 4 M.2, and you don't have any of these interfering with any of your PCIe slots. None of it. It is all separate. It doesn't affect your PCIe slots at all. No bifurcation, no SATA ports messed with, none of that. This is how it should be. So I would try to get that board if you can. It says there's only one left, but since you're building the PC yourself, take this list, Brandon, and if you don't find that motherboard there, you can just order it online. There you go. And we're going to switch to this 1 terabyte drive. It's going to bring us under budget. It's $75 instead of $133. And now we're at $1824.92. Now, the thing that is missing from here is an operating system, but I'm not going to recommend you spend $120 on a retail license for Windows. You can just go to my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals, and get a Windows 11 home license for like $20-25 with my code BRAY25. I don't get a kickback every time one is sold. They just support the videos themselves. They'll sponsor a video here and there. But yeah, I've used plenty of their codes and never had a problem. Fowler says, I love my older 5950X. No core parking. Yep, those were the days. Also, the 7950X. No core parking. What do you know? So there we go. There's our build. $1824.92. Actually, with this price here, we can go back to a 9700X. The other option would be trying to get a 64 gig kit of RAM. That might be a good idea, just to make sure you always have enough. If you have too much RAM, you will never notice that. If you don't have enough RAM, you absolutely will notice. So that's something to think about. I'm going to just do this as an option, okay? As an option, because the only reason this RAM kit is selected right now is because it is the one that is part of the bundle that we're no longer getting. So if we go to 64 gigs, I'm going to show you this. Let's see, 60 capacity is down here. If you go to 64 gigs, and we just get you anything that's going to be for sure going to have Expo, this would push your budget over, but I want to show you this as an option you can choose to get that I think is recommended, but it is not necessary. So basically, you can take this parts list, and if you don't want to go over, the budget, so we're at like $100 over budget. That's a lot, but it's with 64 gigs of RAM. You can basically tell them at Micro Center, hey, I want this RAM, but I want the 32 gig kit, and they'll have that. I just wanted to have this on here for you. And this is not DDR5 6000 CL36. This is 64 gigs of DDR5 6000 CL30. When you go there, you can choose to do that or get the 32 gigs and upgrade yourself to the 2 terabyte storage. That will be much closer to the budget, but still a little bit over. All right, I'm going to give you this list, and 5950Z also do core park. 5950X does not have core parking. No. Core parking was not introduced until the 7950X 3D. Unless I'm very mistaken. So, Brandon, here's what you got to do. Okay? That link I gave you will take you here. And you'll want to save the list, save this build, which means you'll either have to... Here, I'll just zoom in. You want to save this build. So you save this build. It'll prompt you to create a Micro Center account. And the reason I need you to do that is because if I do another Micro Center build tonight, which is not unlikely... if I do another Micro Center build tonight, this one's getting erased. So if you save it to your own account, there you go. Maybe I saw misinfo. Thank you, Robert. Appreciate it. Yeah, Fowler, always be careful about... I mean, you're saying it here, so you're going to get fact-checked, which is safe. That's safe. That's a safe thing to do. Say it where, you know, if someone knows differently, they'll be like, actually, it's this, you know. But be careful about if you're in forums or you're chatting with other people about saying stuff if you're not too sure about it. Our job as people who are actually scrutinizing technology is to stop spreading the spread of misinformation instead of adding to it. And I've gone after other content creators that I'm friendly with over that kind of thing. So don't feel bad. And I've also said stuff that was wrong before too. So it happens to the best of us. Okay, so that's it, Brandon. You're good to go. So I don't see that. I see that someone claimed that they were Mr. Move Right, which they would be next if they would come out and say with, I guess Twitch chat is where they're Mr. Move Right. If they would come out and say that they're here, they're on the list, cool. But the name didn't match, so they either have to refill out the form or show up in the other chat with the correct name. Then we have Isaiah Rosa here. Isaiah, you are next. Saving it now, thanks. Awesome. Want to see how that? Let me know how that turns out. Should be a great build. Oh, let me show y'all something. So this is the difference between PCIe X1 and X4. This is X1. It's very few contacts here. Okay, it's much smaller than the X4. Not much smaller. You can actually mistake these, and I actually did that. So, okay, actually, let me just line them up this way, because there is the tab. There you go. Can you see that at all? Stop it. X1 and X1 here, X4 in the back. So if you only have one lane, if you have PCIe X1 available, you need to get something like this, not something that requires X4 for PCIe lanes, or it's not going to function properly. And we don't want that. We want it to function properly. The reason this one needs more lanes is because this has USB 3.2 Gen 2. This has 10 gigabit per second speeds on it for the USB-C ports. So that's an important distinction, I feel. G-Code, you got it. We'll see you in the next stream. Isaiah is here. Sweet. Okay. Isaiah, do me a favor. Let's make sure that you're caught up with the stream. Can you refresh the YouTube stream for me? And also, there's a progress bar there for the stream. You can grab that, drag it to the right, just to make sure that you're completely caught up. It took a little while for you to respond on that. And Right Guy, you would be after that unless Mr. Move Right comes in. Well, if they come in with a new form, they're going to be after you, Right Guy. But if they come in Twitch chat with the right username, then they'll be before you. But Isaiah, you are next. And let's see. So we're looking at Skytech and Corsair. I'm going to direct you to Skytech rather than Corsair on that for reasons. But yeah, I just kind of prefer Skytech over Corsair when it comes to their pricing and stuff. You think AMD's next-gen CPU will be on AM5 platform? Scarecrow? Yes. I have no reason to believe otherwise. I just can't wait to see what the hell they do with the naming on it. Because they sort of painted themselves in the corner by jumping from 5,000 to 7,000 to 9,000 series. Is it going to be 11,000 series? That's going to sound kind of dumb. Yeah, I got a 11700X. Yeah, thanks, AMD. Appreciate it. Same thing with their GPUs. Yep. Reboot naming to Zen 6000. No, I don't want them to redo their whole naming convention. That's what Intel did, and they got so much crap for that, rightfully so. But I don't know what they're going to do. I guess that's maybe all they can do. Little things actually matter more than the big things. Yeah. All right, Isaiah, I also have a question for you. Regarding your budget here, because it's listed as between $3,500 to $4,000. What is the actual maximum budget for your build? Could be Ryzen Ultra 9000. Oh my God. What if they just call it Ryzen over 9000 series? There you go. Oh, I'm going to test something real quick. Sorry for headphone listeners. Check, check, check.
Check, check, check.
What is causing it to peak? I don't know. 3,800. Thank you for being specific. I appreciate that. All right, so that is your maximum. Not going over that. Close all of these windows, tabs. And just making sure, Brandon, you said saving it now, so you have the build saved, right? I can close the window because I don't know if it'll persist if I close the window. Should I air fry chicken nuggies or frozen pizza? Rurutu? Only if you have a good dipping sauce for the nugs. 19950X 3D. God, I hate it. I hate it. I guess it would be 11950X 3D or 11800X 3D. It just does. It's not the worst thing I've heard, but it's up there. This one should be pretty easy. We're just going max gaming performance. And it looks like that's a King 95 system with a 9800X 3D and an RTX 5080. Actually, no, you don't need that. You don't need a 9950X 3D and a 5080. So we're going to save you like $400 by not doing that. But I want to see the rest of the system. Let's see what else we got in here. It should be at least 2 terabytes of storage. Right, Jeff? Oh, hell yeah. Man, Skytech has been freaking killing it with the specs. Love to see it. Check this out. Now, I think at this price, it shouldn't be a B650 motherboard. That's not going to hurt you too much. That should be fine here. You're getting 64 gigs of DDR5 6000. You're getting 4 terabytes of Gen 4 NVMe storage. You're getting 360mm AIO, 9800X 3D, and an RTX 5080 in the gorgeous King 95 case, RGB all over the place. I hope that's okay with you. He said not too much, but guess what? It's a little too much, but that's fine. And buffalo sauce and ranch. See, I would say a nice spicy mustard. Spicy mustard with chicken nuggets, goated. When you save it, where do you find it after? On your account, usually, I think. I haven't really tried myself. But also, Brandon, you should be able to add most of that to cart. It's just certain parts are in-store only. Actually, I didn't check this. You want the PC in black? In black. There you go. There you go. Gaming at 4K. There you go. RTX 5080 and 9800X 3D. There you go. You don't need the 9800X 3D, but it's in here. And this is already spec'd out, and they're not cutting corners on the RAM or the storage. It's actually quite nice. I was looking at the Chronos 3 with a 5080, a little cheaper and a different motherboard. All right. I don't see that one. I see. I when you tell me your budget, I brought it up to 3450 and up. I guess I'll drop the price down. All right, we're just gonna change this and just make it all 5080 systems. Sort by low to high. That'll take a second. Reload, and we'll see. Honey mustard with some sriracha mixed in. That's a good idea right there. Okay, we go here. We go to 5080. There you go. Honestly, the 5070 Ti for 4K gaming is just fine. But let me see. Chronos 3. 9800 X3D 5080. These are the last of these. But the problem with the Chronos 3, and the reason I wouldn't have picked it for you, is because, Isaiah, you chose black as your system color. So I would not have gone with the Chronos 3. Let's see what the rest of the specs are. Yeah, 2949. So you're getting X670. Why are they specifying DDR5? Socket AM5 is DDR5 only. The picture is incorrect, by the way. This is showing an MATX motherboard, but it's listed with an X670 non-MATX. So you're good there. 9800 X3D, 5080, 850 watt gold, ATX 3.0. What did this have for power supply? 850, same power supply, 850 watt. So you're getting the main differences here, other than, of course, the case being the wrong color from what you chose, and also not having the sort of panoramic look, the fish tank look. You're also getting 32 gigs of DDR5 instead of 64. Should be okay for just gaming. And 2 terabytes of storage instead of 4. I forgot where it was, but I tried a spicy honey sauce. It was epic. Like Mike's Hot Honey. Ruchu, thank you for the lurk. Much appreciated. Oh, BC Murray, what's up? Given food advice that probably should never be uttered. Oh, it looks like Ruchu liked it, though, so I guess you win. Yeah, so it's $29.50. Now, another option with this budget, and something I can try, is we can try doing a custom PC. We don't have a big backlog of people waiting for help, so I don't mind spending a little extra time on this. Let's try just doing a custom PC. Like, leverage your full budget to get the PC exactly how you want it. You don't need an Astral 5080. That is $1,800. Good Lord. Let's see. PNY 5080 is minus $300. I guess that's our option. There's no Zotac 5080s, huh? 5090, 5090, 5090. There it was. Yeah, I'm new to PC, so I was wondering if 32 gigs and 2 terabytes was enough just for gaming. I'll tell you this. If you, Isaiah, if you like to have your games installed on Steam, like your whole library, if you build up a big library, 2 terabytes should last you a while, but not forever. And unless you're comfortable with adding storage yourself, I just, if you have the option to get more storage, why wouldn't you, Love the Trikes Panorama. Don't need a $300 AIO. But this way we can also make it a black PC as well. You have a lot of cases to choose from. And let's see, looking at these. Geometric Future makes such a cool looking case. They kind of went off at Computex. They had a really awesome PC that they're apparently going to be making a thing. Montec XR in black or the Fantex G360A, always a good choice in terms of performance. But you can also go with the O11 Vision if you want to have a lot of glass and that whole aesthetic. There's the Antec C8 with the wood panel on the front as well. You can go that way if you want. Or just the Antec Flux Pro, which also has the wood paneling. Wait, was that plus $80? Oh, wow. Okay. But there's the Antec Flux Pro if you want to have that aesthetic. Every pre-built PC should come with a free pizza. Just saying. I don't know if that pizza would survive shipping, though. All right. Right, guy. I will hydrate. There you go. When do you get a fan cooler and when do you get an AIO? There's a specific cutoff point. When you go from this point, you need an AIO. Generally, if you're getting a really, really high-end CPU, most cases you'll do better with an AIO, at least when it comes to heat spikes. AIOs absorb heat spikes, I think, a lot better than air coolers do because you have the thermal capacity of the liquid itself. You know, they take longer to achieve sort of heat soak, essentially. And it's just, you also, AIOs are great because most of the weight of the cooler is not hanging off the motherboard. Instead, it's mounted to the chassis. There's a lot of benefits to going with an AIO when you're getting a pre-built. Now, if you're getting a case that is a very, very high airflow case, a high performance case, there are certain times where an air cooler will do better than an all-in-one liquid cooler. It's circumstantial though. But also, if you just wanted to have no moving parts other than the fan on the cooler, then you can go with an air cooler. It's really up to you. It's just there is a certain threshold where air coolers kind of meet their limit. But you can there are giant air coolers that can cool almost anything. But I wouldn't put like an overclocked 14900 KS under any air cooler. Oh, that is a way better motherboard than the one that's in the other system. But I would probably say I'm going to go ahead and shy away from doing... They're working on it, but I'm not going to put an ASRock motherboard with a 9800X3D there. It's going to cost more to get a black motherboard here because the only option is the MX870E Carbon. But you can also go with this white motherboard from Asus, the RG Strix X870-A. This is a great motherboard, and it is $21 cheaper. So you're going to have a black case with a white motherboard in there instead of what you chose previously, which is a white case with a black motherboard. You're getting more of the actual aesthetic that you chose in the form. Yeah, Robert, if you're looking at the Fractal Torrent or the new BF360 that's coming out from Haven, I want to try that with a beefy air cooler. Okay, so RAM. In most cases, with 4K gaming, you should be okay with 32 gigs of RAM. But let me ask you this, Isaiah. What kind of games are you going to be playing on this system in 4K? Mostly like AAA titles? What are you looking at? I know you said you're new to PC gaming, but you probably have certain games in mind to play. Okay, I'm going to say one thing. You're probably fine on 32 gigs of RAM, but I'm going to put a better spec for you in there if they have it. I want to put DDR5 6000. I just want to find... Oh, damn, they have 96 gig kits. Nice. Let's see, 2x6. It's white. It'll match the board at least. Let's see. Deer has 60. That's 2x32. Okay, looks like we got to go with a 64 gig kit if you're going to have the right frequency of RAM. SkyTech, what are you doing? Put a 1,000-watt power supply in there. Huh, interesting. Curious. Hold on. Here we go again. I should just put this link. I just like coming to this page. Let's put this in the... B+, 1,000-watt model has poor transient response on 12 volt under 200% spike. That's a pretty specific situation. I gotta say though, guys, check this out. ASRock power supplies, aside from the Steel Legend, which is a B+, which is solid, both the Phantom Gaming and Tai Chi power supplies are A or A+. ASRock apparently out here killing it in power supplies. That's really cool. And these are all 2024 models. So this is a B+, but it's 1,000 watts and it's ATX 3.1. I don't see the Challenger listed here at all. That's unfortunate. Let's see what else we got. I mean, certainly a better deal than adding $140 for the Seasonic one. But this is a benefit over any of the other systems we've been looking at because those all have 850-watt power supplies. You now have a 1,000-watt power supply in here. Really? Defaulting to a 512? Nope. And they only have a 1 terabyte in the Kingston Fury Renegade, which is unfortunate. All right, 2 terabyte SN850X. So you can go with 2 terabyte storage or 4 terabyte storage. I'll just default to 2. And we're still under budget with a completely customized system. But here's the thing. Gaming at 4K AAA titles, the last thing you need in this system is an X3D chip. You do not need a 9800 X3D. So if we change that to, say, a 9700X, you're going to drop the price considerably. By almost $300 for something that will make zero difference for 4K gaming. That makes this thing $3412. And that's if you like this case, by the way. I don't know if you like this case that I chose here. Let's take a better look at it. That's the case. Classy. All right, Skeeter, have a good night. Thanks. Challenger's on the full list, and it's bad. Ooh, ooh, ooh. So, Isaiah, this is the ideal system for what you're trying to do. I got to see this now. Challenger. Okay. B. I wouldn't say this is bad. B is okay, but C minus? All right, let's take a look. No 12V HPWR or 12V 2x6. platform bears a striking resemblance to System Power 10 with some slight differences. May also be missing a MOV. And for the bronze PCIe 5.1, does not claim ATX 3 point something compliance, but 750 watt claims PCIe 5.1 ready. The 450 watt 12E2 by 6. So the asterisk, I don't know. That might be awaiting confirmation. No idea. That's not the worst I've seen. If it's E, that's bad. That red E, that is when you put bad in all caps, Bergie. So yeah, here's the thing. This system and this system are wasting money on the 9800X3D. Even at 1440p, a much lower resolution than 4K, all right? It is a lot less pixels, a lot fewer pixels in 4K. The 9800X3D does barely anything over its non-X3D counterparts. The 9700X is going to run cooler, use less power. Well, no, it's actually the 9800X3D did very well on thermals and on power draw. That's not really the thing here. It's still wasting almost $300 going with that. And these pre-configured systems, because AMD did such a good job of marketing it as the gaming CPU. Listen, if you're doing 1080p competitive gaming, yeah, it's the one to get. If you're not, and you're doing the very opposite of that, you're doing 4K AAA titles, cinematic gameplay, things like that, the 9800X3D is like such a waste of money for you. So instead, we built a custom system that's the same price as this King 95. The difference is, it has still 64 gigs of RAM. It has a better motherboard. This is B650. Instead, you are getting, what, X870? Yeah, X870. That's a way better motherboard. In terms of memory compatibility, in terms of having PCIe Gen 5 for the PCIe slot, because B650 did not need to have PCIe Gen 5 for the GPU slot. Probably better I/O. I really have no way to confirm that because I can't see exactly what B650 it was. You have your choice of case. You choose whatever case you want out of the entire list. You're getting probably, see, we don't know. This is DDR5 6000 CL30. You can kind of tell by the SKU here. Whereas on these, we don't know what cast latency this RAM is. This one's only 32 gigs of RAM. This one has 65 as well, but we don't know the cast latency. This one has 4 terabytes of storage. I chose 2 for yours. When you're just gaming, as you were thinking, 2 terabytes should be enough. And we are still, before my discount, about $400 under budget, and shipping is free. You can take that amount from your budget and add on a fat warranty to this thing. Take it from 1 year parts, labor, and shipping up to 3 years parts, labor, and shipping, and still be under budget with a fully custom system. And this is not a cheap case. There is a lower priced case option that has more of that sort of fish tank look to it. Still has the wood panel, still from Entech, all that good stuff. What's up, Kenneth? How's it going? So before my discount, with the fully extended warranty, which is refundable, by the way, and it is $37.53 before my discount, and shipping is free. There you go. You don't have to get the extended warranty. Don't know why I wouldn't if you could, but you don't have to. But yeah, looking at the case, there are a lot of options here. You can tell me which one you want if you want to go that route, or I can just send you the build and you can change the case yourself, whichever one you like. There are a decent amount of options here. So what do you think? You want me to send you this one? Now, I want to say, because I haven't gotten a response yet, you might be sitting there being like, but I'm gaming. Don't I need the gaming CPU? That's marketing. It really only matters at 1080p. That's it. Yes? All right, cool. Let me go ahead and send that over to you. Go copy the link. We shorten it for you. Go. Logo Crazy. Hey, do you still recommend iBuyPower if it's right for what you want? Logo Crazy, if you're looking for help with a PC, please click the link in the description, the very first link in the description, and fill out that form. Then I'll be able to determine whether that's the right option for you. Now let's check this out real quick. We are going to add this to cart. By the way, you can save like $80 going with the C8 instead if you want to. And it's actually more glass, more showing off the parts, all that kind of stuff. But let's go ahead and add this to cart as it is because that's the link I sent you. Then we're going to go to proceed to checkout. We're going to try out code SWARM, see what that brings the price down to. This is without the extended warranty. But shipping is free. It's part of it. Apply code SWARM, SWARM. And now the price has gone down by over $100. Down to $33.10 and 8 cents. There you go. There it is. I know I wasn't showing the screen for that. It's just, if you add it to cart, you'll see the process I did. It's just, that's all it is. Now, another cool thing that you can do by getting the custom system is not here again. Again? Really? Never mind. They don't have the thing where you can have it built live on stream, so I guess maybe they're not doing that now. I don't know. Also, whenever Juan, their main builder, goes on vacation, they don't have someone to do them, so they take the option off of the thing. It's usually here, but yeah. But yeah, over $100 off just by typing in code SWARM. Honestly, I'm just stressed on which to go to. It's annoying because iBuyPower, I've heard, has payment issues depending on your bank. And I haven't heard anything about that. Isaiah, no problem. You got the link. You got the code. Test out the link. Make sure the build comes up. What's up, Buddha Cat, by the way? I totally missed your first time chat. My bad. Oh, no, I didn't. I did answer it. The AIO and air cooler option. Yeah. I hope that answer helped you. And Kenneth, I might have already said hi to you, but I'm going to say hi again. What's up? Right, guy. It's your time. Okay, so let's see. So you are in Canada. Link worked. Awesome. Isaiah, best of luck with that system. Once you get it, share your experience. And for this goes for everybody. If you're getting a PC from any company, join our Discord. And in the Discord is a group of channels that's called SI Testimonials. You can look at this before you purchase, because other helpful members of the community have shared their experiences of buying, unboxing, using these systems from pretty much every system integrator under the sun that I've covered anyway, and some that I haven't. Unfortunately, there's some distractions in there where people will just go in and chat in the testimonials, which I say not to do. It's just for people who have actually bought systems to share their stories. The real helpful ones, though, are the ones where they had some kind of issue and got it resolved or didn't. And they'll share their story. So it helps teach you which ones to sort of stay away from. And the best thing, if that helps you, I absolutely think that you should pay it forward, turn around and share your experience in the SI testimonials when your time comes. Share pictures of your setup, of your system. If there's an issue, show pictures of that. If you had a bad interaction through email or something, share that in there. Really, this is a place where you can transcend standard typical reviews on Amazon or whatever, where it's a tiny little story and they're like, oh, it sucks or it's great. Because here's the funny thing about words. You can kind of say whatever words you want in any order you want, whether they're true or not. Here, these are community members who are sharing their actual stories and, where they need to, showing receipts. Game Fanatic, Bertha, thanks again so much for recommending Micro Center for my build. I went to my local location yesterday evening and the rep I spoke with was super helpful. Nice. I'm looking forward to purchasing my PC in the coming weeks. All right. I hope not too much changes in that time, because the problem, Game Fanatic, by the way, welcome back. The problem is that with Micro Center, stock can change rather quickly, but your helpful Micro Center reps should be able to help you find equivalent parts. Not much, just chilling, watching Braithorn. Hey, that's me. That's me. Hey, they're talking about me. Look, Ma.
I'm on TV. Look, that's my name.
Okay. Doesn't iBuyPower accept Google Pay and Amazon other payment methods if you want to go that way? Cecil, they might have been talking about like Affirm or something like that, or whatever iBuyPower uses. I don't know. All right, guy. You chose the budget bracket of $2,000 to $2,500. Where's your actual maximum budget? What is the actual solid number? Not a range. Maximum number of money dollars you can spend on your PC, not including taxes, shipping, and peripherals, monitors, stuff like that. $2,200. All right, cool. There we go. All right, chat, here's what we're looking at for this one. We're looking at doing some, looks like gaming and streaming in 1440p. Finally, a white build. Thank you. That's my preferred aesthetic. But hey, this is in Canada. Y'all already know where I'm probably going to go. I will say, though, right, guy, it has been really tough on Canadian system integrators. A lot of them get their stuff through the U.S., shipped into the U.S., and then brought up to Canada. We're going to have to see how it's affected them. But we should be able to do a build through, yes, they are a boutique builder, as you noted here, through quoted.tech. Quoted Tech should be the one you need. Let's see what we can manage through that. I feel really bad because Quoted Tech actually offered to fly me up there to do a tour video of their place, and I have not been able to do that yet. I should really go do that. That'd be a lot of fun. Also, I believe they're pretty close to Cuddles, so maybe I'll hang out with him too. I think they are. Okay. Gaming. Now, let me ask you this, Rye Guy. That 2200, see, Bergie asked the question. No. Alucard, that's not how the form works. It's always US dollars. It's supposed to always be US dollars. In US dollars. They can pick their location as Canada, but the budget is supposed to be given in US dollars. And why does that matter? Well, this is in US dollars right here. Confusingly. Because if you look right here, well, it's not backing out, but whatever. Okay. Quota Tech, you okay? If you look here, custom build your own PC from 1149 CAD. And then you get into here. Wait, start your build. And now it's in US dollars for some reason. The in US and the hol and oh yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that would be US dollars. So there's probably a Canadian version of that. It's probably going at some between where I click on custom PC and then this page, it just sees that I'm in the US. So right, guy, just to verify, that is $2,200 US, right? That's what it says here in US dollars. So that's the budget you gave me? Okay, good. All right. So we're doing a white PC. Oh, they got the View 270. This is a really nice case. Okay. We've seen cases like this before at this point, but yeah. This is going to be a good one right here. Okay. This is for gaming and streaming in 1440p. So 1440p, 9700X, if possible. Damn. Oh, because it changes the motherboard, RAM, everything. Okay. Okay, we got the Aorus Elite Ice. This is going to be a good motherboard for what you're doing. That's the B650 version, though. The X870 one would be $75 more. I'd like to go that route for X870, but let's compare something really quick. I want to see... Stop it! Okay, maybe I can do this. I can. I cannot. There we go. So this is the X870 version. This is the B650 version. Okay. And we're going to compare IO here. Gallery. There we go. Take your time. There we go. Let's see if there's a big difference. That's being blocked by... All right, let's do this. Oh my God. Why is it so wonky? I got this. Don't worry, chat. We've probably already come up with our answer and everything. We're just... There we go. So 4 USB 2.0. This only has 4 USB 3.0. This has 5 and the 2. So really, we're just missing one USB 3.0, right? And this then gets two dual USB 4, and this has one single USB 10 gigabit per second, 2.5 gig Ethernet and Wi-Fi 6E, 2.5 gigabit Ethernet and Wi-Fi 7. This is the better board. You're just missing one USB port here. Neither of them are bad, though. But I do need to check one thing here. Is this the same thing? X2, X4. There we go. Shares bandwidth of M.M2D-SB connector. M2D-SB. Okay, so there's one M.2 socket here that will interfere with the PCIe slot. So you can put up to 3 drives in here and not have a problem. There you go. All right, I go with this one here. Maybe, because we still have to pick a GPU, and it's going to have a 5060 in there. So that's a problem. I forgot about that. Okay. That's putting us over budget pretty fast. Okay. We'll have to back up on some things. This is a boutique builder. You have to remember that. This one's fine. Go with that. 7700X instead of 9700X. There we go. We're getting closer. Also, I have a discount code with them, so there is that to consider. Wait, it's an MSI Mag Core Liquid, really? Okay. I need to see what my discount does here. We're looking at 5070 Ti. I will say you can do a 5070 because you're doing 1440p. I do think that would be fine. The only time I ran into any VRAM issues with the 5070 non-Ti was when I tried to do 4K stuff with it. Other than that, it ran fine. I have a whole review video on it. And that gets us to the budget without actually changing anything in terms of coupon code. There's another thing that's going to really help here, and I'm going to go do that now. Let's go down here. Check this out. I like this a lot. Windows 11 Home with no activation takes $118 off the price. And you can put some of that towards the purple sleeved cables if you like good cables. Let's go here for the power supply first and bump that up to an 850 watt. I think this was a B+ rating on this. Now with the 360 millimeter AIO, is that what I put, or did I leave it at 240? Yeah, 360. You're going to have the 3 fans for exhaust up top, which is going to be nice. Let's see. 32 gigs. Do they not have DDR5 6000? I guess not. But this is going to be a better frequency for what you're doing here. Let's do that. There you go. 5070, 7700X. And we can beef this up to a 2 terabyte. The discount should bring this under budget. Do you see a difference between GPUs with 2 fans and 3 fans? Yeah, it's a cooling difference. It really depends on the GPU, though, but I have seen it to where the main difference, Bergie 5, is that a 3-fan cooler is better for brute forcing. If you already have really good airflow to the GPU, like it's a style case where it's like a dual chamber case with fans pointing straight into it, then either one will do fine. But if you don't have a lot of airflow to the GPU, the 3-fan is going to succeed, where the 2-fan might have some issues. All right, 2 terabytes of fast storage here. They're both fast, but this is going to have onboard DRAM cache. You don't need to add any case fans. This already comes with 3 fans, plus you're getting 3 with you for exhaust with the AIO. There we go. So let me first see what our discount is going to get here. You got 3-year parts warranty, 5-year labor warranty. Let's see, assembly included. Now, here's the thing about the no activation for Windows thing. You can spend $120 on Windows if you want, or get Windows installed, not activated, and get a key for Windows 11 Home from my YouTube sponsor, VIP CDK Deals. I don't get paid out just by every one of those. I'm just suggesting it because it's like $20 instead of $120. I have a link for it on my YouTube videos that are sponsored by them, and that's like new one's coming out soon, but I just haven't had one up in a while. I need to have a command where it just pops up, but they don't sponsor my streams, so I never implemented anything like that. So yeah, just get yourself an OEM license and you can activate it yourself for like $20-25. So let's go ahead and add this to cart as is here. And just keep in mind, if you do want to get the 16 gigs of VRAM, you can go up to the 5070 Ti for $252. Let me get the build first. Copy link. There's the build for you. And we're going to go ahead and add to cart and type in my code, see what we get. And my code is just my name, Braythorn. Wait, what existing discounts? Oh, okay. It has a Father's Day discount thing on there already. So it already took off $74.36. Well, okay. Happy Father's Day to me. I guess I don't get credited for helping you with this build. Thanks, Quoted Tech, for automatically doing that and not letting them change the code. Good deal. But it puts it at 2163. There you go. If you want, you can tell them, you can email them and say, hey, I wanted to use code Brayathorn, actually, but that's up to you. It doesn't make any difference to you. It would only make a difference to me. Huh. Okay. This is a rare opportunity. I might need to take it. No, I probably wouldn't even notice, actually. Not when he's doing RP. So one of my favorite content creators in the last like months, because I was sought out. I sought out GTA RP content, and Spaceboy stuck out like immediately with the James Randall character and some other characters. I'm watching for months and months now, and I never catch him streaming because I always end, I think, after he's already offline. But oh, wait, hold on a second. I have an idea. But essentially, when he's talking to other players in roleplay, he doesn't typically respond to stuff happening in the stream. So I'm not going to raid him. I watch most of your stream anyway. I could. No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, right, guy. It's okay. Not a problem. Animaxion. I have an old DDR4 system with i5-10400F and RX 6600 GPU. Which one should I upgrade first? The MOBO plus RAM plus CPU or the GPU? Animaxion, I think the important thing here was that you absolutely make sure
that you don't tell me what you're using the system for. Whatever you do not tell me what you're going to do with the system. Like,
I don't know, gaming? Are you getting into video editing? What are you trying to go from 1080p gaming to 1440p? Just give me specs. I don't know. Usually the GPU, but I don't know. Also, what's your power supply wattage? Because you might have to upgrade that too. I'm not trying to roast you on this. It's just you need to understand that when you want helpful info, you need to provide helpful info. Looking forward to purchasing. Okay, my local location just got their house restocked, so they have plenty of GPUs. Game Fanatic, I'm sorry, I'm just responding to this, but I noticed that at a lot of other micro centers have been getting a lot more GPUs. My bad, just gaming. At 1080p, 1440p, what resolution are you trying to game at? Because right now with the RX 6600, I would have recommended 1080p gaming. But once you move up to 1440p gaming, really the GPU is what matters the most. Also, I don't know how much RAM you have. You said it's DDR4. Is it 16 gigs, 32 gigs? This is why there's a form. And in the form, now you can't put your parts list in there, but the form does tell you if you're looking for help on an upgrade, you have to list all your parts so that I don't have to just constantly beg for information. because that's usually what I have to do. And that's just really, again, it's not intended in a bad way either. It's really just meant to be a, hey, if you're ever looking for help with anything in the future, the best thing you can do is ask a good question with a lot of sort of helpful info for the person, because they're going to just sit there having to ask this and ask that and ask this and ask that. And it's, you know, it's not fun for you either, basically, if I have to do it that way. So how much RAM do you have? 16 or 32 gigs? What's your power supply wattage? Because if you have a 500 watt power supply for that RX 6600, that works great. But once you try to go up to, like, I don't know, 5070 or 5070 Ti or whatever, 9070 XT or whatever you're getting, the power supply minimum PSU requirement usually will go up. That's how it's all been trending anyway. It's all been trending up on power usage. And I follow a lot of people on Twitch, so there's sometimes where I just look through the list of people I follow and I'm just like, I don't know who that is, because I'll just like raid someone or something and I'll follow, and like I sometimes forget if they don't stream very frequently or if I don't see the name often enough. 24 gigs, okay, yeah, and I'll upgrade the PSU as well. I mean, if you're trying, here's my recommendation: if you want to really upgrade your gaming experience, upgrade your GPU and your power supply if needed, and aim for 1440p. Like if you're on an RX 6600, you're probably on a motherboard with PCIe Gen 3. No. Yeah, the 10400F is Gen 3, PCIe Gen 3. So you can't go crazy with it, but look for something like an RX 7700, which should not saturate PCIe Gen 3 X16. RX 7700 and a 1440p monitor, and it's going to blow your mind, the difference in gaming performance. All right, need to crash, be ready for work, and for the Switch 2 launch tomorrow night. Have a good night, Brain Chat. You got it. And I might actually have a chance to get one after all. I'm not a big fan of GameStop, you know, and all that, but they're apparently going to have a lot of stock, and I have an air-conditioned place to wait. So I'm going to show up at that mall at 8 a.m. and wait outside their door till 10 a.m. on Thursday. Have a good night, Alucard. Thanks for hanging out. But yeah, look for an RX 7700. That should work okay with your motherboard. That 10400F at 1440p gaming should be okay. If you have a high enough budget, though, you might be able to do a whole system, but it's hard to say. No, that's okay. Animaxian, the reason I bring that up is because it happens a lot. And when I tell you that, I'm telling anyone who's lurking, who is thinking about asking a question. That's why I say it. My tone can come off as brusque or maybe a little dismissive, and that's not the intention. The intention is for it to be something that you can take with you for any time that you're asking for help, or maybe you're trying to help somebody else. Because the main thing you do when you're helping someone is ask them questions to make sure you give the best help possible. And that's what my job has become. And that's fine. If you look at the link in the description, there's a form there that if you decide, you know what, instead of upgrading what I got, maybe I'll save up and get a whole PC. That form asks you questions you should ask yourself anyway. And it'll help out, I think. If you want, we can do a formal sort of me helping you thing if you fill out the form. Because anyone looking for PC help is supposed to fill out the form. And then I go in order of people who submitted the forms. So do that. There's even an upgrade option there. And what it'll prompt you to do is when your turn comes up, which I'm going to probably be ending a little early tonight. When your turn comes up, say Thursday, you can go into your PC, get all the specs, all the parts, put down what budget you have, and we can give you, I won't just be giving you vague advice. I'll be like, get this, this, and that. Boom, done. There you go. I don't know. I don't feel like going through the whole list of people. We're just going to raid Mired Media here. I think that would be fun to have Jacob there. Who is playing Doom the Dark Ages. That's got to be fun. All right, everybody. Now, if you're watching on YouTube, there's no rating on YouTube that I do. If you want to follow along with the raid, come on over to click the link in the description for the Twitch channel. That's where that kind of stuff happens. And we're going to go ahead and raid Mired Media, my buddy Jacob over there. And that should be fun. So if you if you're on the list and you haven't gotten help yet, come back on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central. I'll help you out, and I'll be happy to do so. If you haven't filled out the form yet, it is the first thing in the YouTube description, and it's popping up in chat over on the Twitch side of things. Fill out that form, save your place in line. I'll help you out on Thursday. And until then, take care. Bye-bye.
Let's go, nerds!